Hi guys, this is Sridevi, economics lecturer. So today we are continuing with our first unit, new topic, that is factors. What are the factors hindering economic development? So we have four factors that hinders economic development. So first is a lack of natural resources, and second one is a low rate of growth of human capital, and third thing is a poor infrastructure, and fourth one is a poverty. And so the first thing is inadequate natural resources. So a country like India, the economic growth will be limited. So if it is running out of the resources, so coming to our first factor, inadequate natural resources. So a country's economic growth will be limited if they are running out of natural resources, including a fertile land. So all these are said to be able to increase the productive capacity of an economy. So the developing countries are too populous in this. So as such serious shortage of the land, it is a common phenomenon. So this is a common things which we are leading to many damaging effects. So first, with lesser things, lesser lands, there will be a significant fall in the cultivation activities also. So which they are mainly sources of the income for poor countries. So this is being made very worst with the low level of the technology. So which could be helpful for the production of mass in the mass scale. So these natural resources could be one of the most dominant factor in the pushing growth of the development. So however, there are some countries which have no resources also, they are surviving very worstly. Our next factor is low rate of growth of human capital. So like developing countries have low allocation of budgets on education and health sectors. So this is due to the three factors mainly. First factor is falling export revenue of agriculture, which produces due to various import restrictions also from the developed countries. Example, see, first example is common agriculture policy, and it is a secondly large production of national income, it was devoted, and the service debts. Okay, so this is a low rate of human growth of population in the capital per capita income. A third factor is lack of infrastructure. So due to the burden in the debts, it measures what impose in many developing countries infrastructure. Means many developing countries infrastructure will be far behind. So nothing is much have been done to improve these technologies. The transportation is a key service for to attract the foreign investments. Means developing the roads, bridges, harbors and railways has desirable conditions and may adversely affect the timely delivering of the goods. Next factor is vicious circle of poverty. Means it is a most feature of the underdeveloped countries. Means it is existence in a vicious circle. It may be considered as the highest bottleneck in the process of economic development. So this poverty is only distressing, but it is not demolishing. Means a poor man is regarded as a disgrace in the society, because a poor is becoming poorer and rich is becoming richer. So it results in what? Deficiency of the capital, of the low productivity. Means low productivity causes a low level of income. And we have some more other factors that promotes economic development also. So there are mainly two types of factors which influences the economic development of our country. There are economic factors and the non-economic factors. So what are the economic factors? In a country, economic development, the role of economic factor is very decisive. Means it plays a main role. See, the stock of capital and the rate of capital accumulation is the most seizes settlement. Means the question whether it may be a certain point of time or certain country will be grow very faster and the slower levels. So there are a few economic conditions, few other economic factors which also have some bearings in the development, but there is an importance, means they can hardly give an importance for the comparable of the capital structure, means the surplus of the food grains output level will be slowed down very calmly, and it also includes the foreign trade conditions and the nature of the economic systems are some of such factors whose role in the economic development is very significant. So there are some characteristics of economic developed economics, like these economic aspects of developed economics refers to the means highly level of economic growth, per capita income and the gross domestic product, how is the standard of the people and consumption of the output. So on the other side, non-economic factors like the life expectancy and literacy rate and low birth rate, low death rate, low infant mortality rate and maternity mortality rate. So all this comes under country's economic growth. Next topic is coming to the characteristics of economic development with special reference to India. We have some characteristics. In that first characteristic is predominance of agriculture. So what is predominance of agriculture? So about 2/3 of India's workforce, it is engaged in agriculture, means most of the people will hold in agriculture works. So the contribution of agriculture to national income is about only 19%. So the contribution of agriculture to the national income is the most developed countries. It is between 2 to 4%, means, and it also working forces engaged in the agriculture between 2 to 9%, means like rainfall is a main source of irrigation. So India, we can get a surplus of rainfall, and the technology used in agriculture is a tradition in nature. Our tradition is that, and modernization is slowly taking place in this. And although in some case areas modern techniques of cultivation is applicable, so still the vast agriculture area uses primitive techniques in the cultivation. Like a vast area of agricultural land is still caught covered in the irrigation facilities. So this is the predominance of agriculture in India. Next characteristics is capital deficiency. So the low level of income results in the low level of savings, means if we get a low level of income, the savings will be also very less. So which results in low level of capital formation. The capital formation will be also very low. So for want of capital, the other resources like labor and natural resources remain uncultured. Like India has a large large potential for renewable and also as well as non-renewable resources. Means the country is not able to utilize those resources properly for the want of a capital. And next is technological backwardness. So in large parts of almost all sectors of Indian economy, so technology usage in production is backward, means we cannot use our technology as expectations. So the expenditure incurred on researches and development is very low. So we are keeping very less expenditures on researches and development. So advanced technology is in use in few industrial areas only. Next is inadequate infrastructural facilities. Inadequate infrastructural facilities. So infrastructural facilities currently include power, transport and communications. So these all facilities are essential for industrial development of our country. So they also affect the development of agricultural and service sectors. So all these facilities are inadequate. Our next characteristics is high infant mortality rate. So the number of deaths of infants of less than 1 year of age per 1000 live births in India are very high. So this shows the inadequate of medical facilities, means if medical facilities are not good, so it causes death of infants, and also the low level of nutrition and a poor sanitization conditions. So all this comes under high infant mortality rate. Next is high rate of illiteracy. So illiteracy rate is quite high, although it is declined in the year of in between 1951. So it is still very high, but illiteracy rates in females is much higher than the males, because many females are going to schools and colleges nowadays. So it is female illiteracy rate is much higher than the males. It is also includes one characteristic of a developing countries. And next, one more characteristic is traditional bond attitude towards the work and life. So the Indian society is divided into many castes and subcastes. So it results in the frictionness in the society, means all the religions and the social beliefs, customs to certain extent inhabit in the developing the scientific altitude. Our next characteristic is joint family system. So joint family system is the system obstructs mobility of the labor, means most of the families prefers to live together even if they may mean having the low level of living, so they will live together. So the nuclear family system is taking its roots slowly. So in spite of this structural conditions, the Indian economy is experiencing a socio-economic changes, like the per capita income has been increased through not at very fast rate. So the infrastructural development has also taken place in this system. So the process of developing is slowly picking up in the most post globalization phase. So coming to the conclusion of this lesson, so this economic growth and economic development is a divergent concepts. So they are interrelated and mutually inclusive concepts. Means this conceptualization of economic development is the most disintegrated manner. Means it is of thinking, thinking has been reflected in the set of intra and interrelationships. Means it is between the economic and non-economic factors. So it is not all together, it is a different concept, but the features would be a same in developed countries and as well as developing countries also. So this is about our first lesson, economic growth and economic development. So with the new lesson, thank you.